last week, and I had the Chiefs running away with this game because I thought it was going to be a vengeful game because the Raiders had gave them their only loss for this season. But when you run, you're able to move the chains. That could create some problems for the Kansas City Chiefs. We saw the defense arguing on the sidelines with one another because guys were wide open in a couple of situations where Derek Carr was able to throw a touchdown pass. You just look at some of the things this year when you watch the Chiefs play. How many times is Patrick Mahomes going to be called upon to come to the rescue? We know he's capable of doing it. He's done it on numerous occasions. I'm in no way trying to say that they're not the favorites. I get it. But do I look at them as a team that could be had? Yeah, I do. I think that you know what? You can't just sleep on Pittsburgh. If they would, obviously, if they get to the Super Bowl, you can't just sleep on a Tampa. You damn sure can't sleep on New Orleans. See, compared to what we've seen, particularly last year, there's a slimmer doubt there for me personally. It just is.
Yeah, I mean, of course the Chiefs look vulnerable. That's the thing about them. The reason I like them to win the Super Bowl is the reasons that you point out, Stephen A., because you can run on their defense. They were undisciplined yesterday. Forget about right now. Let's go back to last year's playoffs. They had double-digit deficits in every game. Like, they're down to Texans. They're down to the Titans. They're way down late to the San Francisco 49ers, and they come back on all of them. And then early this season, in everyone's power rankings, right? The Chiefs are not number one. Why? Because they're showing vulnerabilities. It's like they're playing with teams. When Patrick Mahomes got the ball back with over a minute to go, did anyone doubt he was going to win the game? You knew it was over. You gave Patrick Mahomes over a minute, and it was even easier than I thought it would be. So, yes, the Chiefs' defense makes them look vulnerable. It makes them more exciting maybe even than they should be. And yes, it doesn't look as good as it did last year. It reminds me more of the year before. Maybe it's just good enough. But I'll remind everyone, the year before, which was Patrick Mahomes' real rookie season as quarterback, they should have won the Super Bowl. Pre-snap penalty did it to him. That was the first time he touched the ball, really. And then the next year they won the Super Bowl in one record. Yep, their defense looked suspect last night, and I'm telling you, it's not going to matter.
Man, there's no doubt about the Chiefs. This is the runaway best team in football. First of all, I want to make sure everyone understands. I've been trying for a month to get people to believe that the Raiders are a very, very good football team, and they are built to beat one team, the Kansas City Chiefs. They can be explosive on offense, they control the football, and their offensive line can dominate a game, right? But here's the thing. Last night, the Raiders played their A game. That is their A game. They did exactly what they wanted to.
Whatever you do, man, crawl off the field. Don't sit there. No, seriously.
Stymies the momentum.
It does. You crawl off the field because if you sit there and lay down, and then the next thing you know, ain't nothing wrong with you, the trainers go out on the field and get you, bring you to the sideline, and you in the next damn play. Because nothing was really wrong with you. You act like you needed an ambulance to take you off the field. And now all of a sudden, you've given them a free timeout and then think about what they want to do to you. And that's what happens with guys like Patrick Mahomes.
We want to know from you, who do the Chiefs really not want to see in the postseason? Key thinks it's the Raiders, as evidenced by the Week 5 win for the Raiders in Kansas City. Slight loss last night. Jay said they played them as tough as anybody. I mean, is it Pittsburgh, who's 10-0? Hit us up, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Who's the one team the Chiefs don't want to see in the NFL playoffs as they try to go back-to-back? You can also hit us up on Key J and Z on Twitter. Tonight, we got the Rams and the Bucs. I just want to take a quick look forward for Kansas City. Talking about the Bucs tonight. Everybody's going to be talking about Tom Brady. Next week, you know it's coming. Kansas City at Tampa Bay, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. We got to wait to see what Brady does tonight. But as the Chiefs try to zone in and win that fifth straight division, this is obviously an out-of-divisional game. Try to stay just one pace behind the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they'll know what the Steelers will have done by Thursday night because they're playing the Ravens on Thanksgiving. What a huge game in 6 days.
No, it is. And Tampa Bay can't look past the Rams tonight. Looking ahead to Kansas City. Get caught looking ahead to Kansas City and mess around and get smacked by the Rams, and then you'll really be in trouble. And I don't think they'll look ahead. Kansas City has an opportunity to see what their opponent is going to look like tonight when they take on the Rams. They can get a feel for what the Bucs are about and how the Rams can attack them and get at them. And I'm sure they'll be dialed in as they game plan, waiting to see what tonight looks like.
You know, I'm curious for tonight, Key. What version of Jared Goff are we going to see tonight?
Hopefully not the Jared Goff that went down to Florida the last time and they played Miami. Hopefully you don't see that Jared Goff, or you don't see first half Jared Goff against the Buffalo Bills. You see a guy who looks like a $100 million quarterback against a defense that a lot of people had as the top in the NFC and now kind of has come back to the pack. The Buccaneers defense was solid and sound early part of the year, but since then they've kind of tailored off a little bit. I know they had a good game against Carolina, but it's the Carolina Panthers a week ago. Now you get a real offense with a real offensive mind coming into town with Sean McVay, the head coach who calls the offensive plays. You got real receivers out there with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods and Reynolds. You got Jefferson out there. You got tight ends that are there. You got a quarterback, got a running game. It's a little bit different. It'll be a different task for the Bucs defense. But like you said, Jared Goff, what Jared Goff are we going to see? That's going to be key.
No question about it. Once again, hit us up, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Who's the one team Kansas City doesn't want to face in the playoffs? Or if it's easier for you, Key, J, and Z. Key is going with the Raiders. Is the Chiefs' defense good enough to win the Super Bowl? You had mentioned they can score aplenty. They tightened up under defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo last year when they had to. But yet again, I'm watching last night's game, and I know you said Derek Carr's playing great football, but they're just moving it up and down the field. Luckily, they got a guy that can move it down the field just one extra time to help you on offense.
Well, it's the opponent. I know you. I'm in your division. I get a chance to see you every single week because I'm watching. Even though I'm not playing against you, I'm probably watching some sort of tape that has you on it because we play the same opponents. So I'm watching you every single week. So I kind of know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. This isn't Green Bay playing the Indianapolis Colts where they've only seen them a handful of times. This is a team that I see twice a year. Plus, you play Denver, we play Denver. You play the Chargers, we play the Chargers. You know, and then the teams that you play outside the division, we play because we're in the same division. If you play somebody in the other conference, chances are we're playing that same team in the other conference. So every single week, even though I'm not studying game film on you, you show up because I'm studying game film on opponents that we both play.
Let's head to the – go ahead, Jay.
I think the Chiefs' defense is serviceable, Key, right?
Absolutely.
And my thing is that their offense is so potent that it almost gives so much pressure on the opposing team's offense to keep up with that pace. You know, Nick Saban this weekend said something I thought was interesting. He said it used to be that good defense beats good offense. And he says good defense doesn't beat good offense anymore. You know what I mean? Good defense doesn't beat I think what he was meant to say is like if you have a really good offense, it doesn't matter how good your defense is, your offense can outbeat your defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
I read it wrong. Sorry.
But
you know what I meant to say.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. But the problem is those defenses aren't around like that anymore. You know, my Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is not in the NFL right now. The 85 Bears are not around. The Baltimore Ravens defense with Ray Lewis and all those Suggs, and they're nowhere to be found in the National Football League right now. But if you took those defenses that I'm talking about and placed them in the NFL right now, they're going to get the best of them offenses. I was on a Buccaneer team, and our defense was stupid, obviously, playing against a Ram team that was the greatest show on turf. They didn't want no parts of Derrick Brooks now.
Right.
They was laying down.
Stupid good, by the way,
stupid
for people
good.
that don't know.
No,
Warren
not
Sapp,
stupid smart.
Right.
Stupid good.
And we should mention to Jay's point, right, Saban's a defensive guy, but that's why they've gone to tempo. They've got to realize we have got to score.
Man, Booger
McFarland
McFarland and them dudes, they was going to eat. I know Patrick Mahomes is great and all that, but I'm putting my money on John Lynch and Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice and Booger McFarland and Rondé Barber and Brian Kelly. I'm putting my money on them. I promise you I am. Because I know what they come into the party to do.
Indeed. Let's go to the party. Let's go to the Dr. Pepper call-in line. We're asking you this morning, one team the Chiefs don't want to face in the playoffs. Hit us up, 888-ESPN, Key J and Z on Twitter if that's easier for you. Clinton in Ohio, you're on ESPN Radio. Who does Mahomes now want to see?